I was asked to choose a painting from the Hatton or the Laing collection and produce my own work that was inspired by that. So I chose the painting of a young man holding a statuette because I was very interested in the treatment of fabric in Old Masters paintings.
I think initially a formal concern with the use of this very kind of dense black, which frames the figure and sort of exacerbates these kind of pale, cool tones of the dress and the face of the figure. And I was quite interested in the use of this device as a screen almost, especially holding in mind I'd seen the back of the painting, which is also very interesting. I mean, as an object, it has, you know, it's a very kind of austerely built object, really.
I just really like the image. I thought it was quite interesting. I quite like how it's mannerist. I'm really interested in mannerist works and sort of all the weird elements that go with it, and sort of the bust and his weird sort of like finger gestures and stuff. I was quite drawn to it.
I predominantly work in sculpture. I generally work in fabric as well. So I kind of wanted to take that from the painting and almost make it into a sculptural thing, turning the 2D into the 3D, I guess.
I wanted to kind of play with the idea of the screen and how it interacts with the figure. So in the painting I've done, I've kind of positioned, there is a figure in it, but it's kind of obscured by this kind of screening device rather than being centralized by it.
These pieces I did sort of working under the notion of deconstruction and reassembling, essentially like pieces of a jigsaw. I just like the idea of getting these sort of different planes and then sort of just rejigging them and creating like a sort of a new composition.
So the work is made with individual moulds. So you can see one of the moulds in the case. The moulds are covered in Vaseline, and you wind the thread around and then you cover the thread in varnish, which essentially hardens the fabric, and then you pull it from the mould.
It's a process of translating, because you can't take everything from, you know, this painting's original context to now, because so much has changed. You can start to approach it almost like a story, the relationship between past paintings and later paintings.
I guess before doing this project, like you would go into a museum and you would see all of these different paintings by different artists, portrait paintings in particular. Now, having sort of spent such a long time focusing on one painting in particular and trying to sort of use it as a basis, the amount of skill that obviously went into some of these paintings, you know, just the perfection. I think I found sort of a newfound appreciation for Old Masters.